Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully, everybody is having a great Monday night. We are taking a look at a live look at New Orleans. Down on Bourbon Street from a balcony view. Look like they are having a very relaxed and fun night in New Orleans tonight, but a lot of that may change here over the next 72 hours as we have a new tropical storm, Francine, that was named earlier this afternoon. So that is going to be bringing a ton of rainfall and problems to the Louisiana coast. So let's just check out our radar Omega. Hi, Lucky. No, all the notifications have been going well. This is my first live feed in a let's see here, over a week. So there's just not much going on. Just not much going on. So this is Tropical Storm Francine that will likely be turned into a Category 1 hurricane sometime tomorrow afternoon. And then it will slide up, now projected to be a Category 2 storm with the latest reconnaissance from the hurricane hunters as they flew through the now forming eye of the storm. The latest indications do show a little bit of a western movement with the latest reconnaissance, which is good news for west central Missouri. It shifted really east yesterday and pretty much completely moved west central Missouri out of anything other than just cloud cover for the end of the week associated with this tropical storm, but we still have a little bit of hope. So right now, let me just show you what I posted over in my over on the Tourcon side, in which this was at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and notice there's been a big change. Notice that at the 4 o'clock update, they were kind of talking about a Category 1 hitting the coast of Louisiana. Now they're talking about possibility of a low to mid-end Category 2. Now, there are still some outlier models out there that are showing the possibility of even a Cat 3 storm hitting the coast, but right now it's showing a Cat 2 possible as it makes landfall on the Louisiana coast. Now, as far as us here in west central Missouri, so as of the latest update, this is where the most likely area to receive moisture with the current track as of now. So eastern parts of west central Missouri, maybe Benton, Pettis County, they might see some rainfall from this. Also down around the Springfield area, you guys could also see some moisture from this. Now, we're really highly dependent on a system out in the Atlantic and what is going on to the north of us, whether or not it can push the storm track a little bit further west for us to get a little bit more of this moisture, because right now this thing is going to actually serve as a little bit of a block as the storm systems comes across the Midwest, it's going to go up and over this low pressure system, which will be a tropical depression once it moves inland, and it will likely detour any storm systems from coming across Missouri. So we really need some of this moisture from this tropical storm to affect west central Missouri so that we can get some moisture in the ground. Hi, Janet. Jeff Michelle said, "I hope Francine sends some rain." Man, I do too. We definitely need that moisture. So again, I'm not expecting a whole lot right now. But remember, we're still 72 hours away from this having any kind of impact with us here in west central Missouri. So we still have quite a bit of time left for this thing to change course right now. But they are hoping down south that it moves a little bit further west, because any more of a easterly direction that this can move can cause severe storm surge down here near New Orleans. So I think everybody's kind of hoping for the same thing, hoping it shifts just a little bit further to the west. So this latest update that I was talking about actually moved it over by 40 miles. So we'll have to wait till I believe the next update is at 11 o'clock tonight. And hopefully it's going to shift maybe another 40 miles to the west to kind of put us more in line with some of that moisture. So as I was saying, that's going to be serving a little bit of a block for anything else that comes our way. And of course, this is the 500 millibar chart, 18,000 feet above our heads. This is where we see the location and track of all the storm systems that come into our area. And the jet stream is strengthening right now. This is the time of year where it's been sitting up there in Canada, and now it's beginning to sink south for the changing of the seasons and really start to pick up the intensity. And so as we go through that transition time, we typically get a few storm systems, and that is our second storm season, so to speak, where we could get some influx of severe weather and some heavy rainfalls. As I put this into motion, now, what Francine is doing, and this is going to be Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Now, this is the GFS model. Now, if you notice, this particular model is showing a few showers and thunderstorms in west central Missouri on the backside of this system. So, there's still hope. But because of Francine in this location, it's keeping this low pressure system from tracking across the Midwest. Now, just take a look at how deep this one is. You guys see how potent this low pressure system is. Now, typically it would sit there and come right across our area here in the Midwest, but Francine is serving as a block. So it goes up and over. And then we have yet another low pressure system. This is a very deep one, very strong low pressure system. And it causes it to even go further north again. So Francine is going to cause a lot of problems for us trying to get any moisture. So we keep our fingers crossed that we can get some moisture out of this tropical system here here in about Thursday, late Wednesday night into Friday. Hopefully, we will get some moisture from this. So, because if we do not, we could be looking. Let's see here. So that system goes up. Another system comes in on the 20th, goes to our north. So we could be looking at around the 24th before we receive any significant rainfall because of this tropical system. So that is the reason why we need some moisture. Hi, Christine. Yes, we definitely need some rain. And again, we're right now with the latest information and the latest track of Francine. This is where the most likely area right now to receive moisture from Tropical Storm Francine. It will likely be upgraded to a hurricane tomorrow. So we can only hope that this actually shifts just a little bit further to the west. So actually, I believe this morning I posted on my weather blog on mykdkd.com. I also posted it in Subby's Weather Talk. Posted the tropical update with Gary Lezak also. And of course, we were waiting between the 9th and the 12th. And this was right around the 4th of July. And I made a mention on one of my previous posts that we need to be watching September 9th through the 12th as the LRC is projecting a Gulf system moving in and possibly bringing us some moisture right around that time frame. And here we are on the 9th, and we are on the heels of a possible Cat 2 to low end Cat 3 hurricane to affect the Gulf Coast. So rather interesting. The LRC, it has right now. I think it will be 5 out of 5 predicting tropical storms and named storms that they put out their forecast back in February, and so far they're 5 out of 5. So very, very impressive what the LRC can do. And again, the LRC is the biggest piece of the puzzle. There are other small pieces of the puzzle, in which one is the La Nina and El Nino, in which right now we are kind of in that neutral zone. We are going to be kind of transforming into a weak La Nina after we've had an El Nino set up for most of the summer. Now, I have a feeling right now everything is kind of showing that we will be in that transition phase, or that very weak La Nina, all the way into winter. And I personally kind of like that type of setup, mainly because there's huge up and downs. We'll have some warmer days, but yet we'll have some good snowstorms in between there. So that's a little bit exciting, that maybe we might have a more active winter weather season this year. But kind of keeping my fingers crossed on that. But the LRC winter forecast, we are going to be doing a podcast with Gary Lezak. We are going to have our West Central Missouri winter weather outlook. That is going to be coming up here probably the first week of December. So, remember, winter it doesn't start here till about the third week of December. So right around the first week of December, we will have our West Central Missouri winter forecast. We are also going to be doing a contest starting October 1st for everybody here in West Central Missouri. So it's going to be a very fun contest, and information on that will be coming up here over the next, probably about the next week to 10 days. And we will have that announcement coming out on 95.3 KDKD. So definitely looking forward to that. I always love fun contests. So we'll be rolling that out here in about a week and a half or so. So everybody's a little quiet out there in chat tonight. And we were just a little bit ago, right when we started the stream, we were taking a look at, we were actually taking a look at downtown New Orleans. Let's just bring that back. So that is a live look of New Orleans down at the Strip. Looks like everybody is having a great time getting out and about, probably getting dinner. But of course, that is all going to change here in the next couple days. So right now, New Orleans is being spared just a little bit. But if there's any wobble to that track of Francine, and New Orleans could have some really big problems. So it's really interesting when if you study New Orleans and their water drainage systems and their levees. It really is fascinating because a tropical system can come in from a certain angle and create 10-foot storm surge with anywhere between 6 to 8 inches, 6 to 8 foot of water in dry spots. So it really is concerning when you have a storm that is going to be rapidly intensifying as it approaches the coast. And it started off going to be a weak Cat 1 and then a strong Cat 1. Now it's projected as a strong Cat 2. And the ceiling is going to be a Cat 3, a weak Cat 3 storm. So that's a little concerning, especially for anybody with any interest or living down here in Louisiana along the coast. Texas, I think, is going to be spared, as I do not foresee they're going to get some rainfall out of it. I think 2 to 4 inches of rain along the along the Texas coast. But you got to remember they've been hit for the last week to 10 days with thunderstorms and showers nonstop because of a stationary disturbance down there in Texas. So it has just been loom and gloom down along the Texas coast for the next week, or for the last week or so. And now we've got a tropical storm, going to be a hurricane, just within a stone throw of the coast of Texas. So, but definitely very worrisome on the Louisiana coast. And of course, that's just for flooding concerns. You have to keep in mind that along the southeast quadrant of this hurricane, you're gonna have Mississippi and Georgia. It's going to be the hot spot for tornadoes. So typically, your southeast quadrant of a hurricane is where you likely find a lot of spin-up tornadoes. And so not only are they going to have to worry about the flooding and the winds that are now expected to be gusting over 100 miles an hour, now you have to worry about several tornadoes in Mississippi and into Alabama. I'm sorry, for Mississippi and Alabama. So it's going to be quite active down there over the next 72 hours. Oh, yeah, Lucky. You're exactly right. They're 33 feet below sea level. Yeah, it's what fascinates me, and I've actually we had to study this a little bit for floodplain management, as well as I've watched several YouTube documentaries on the levee system down there in Louisiana and in Mississippi, and it really is fascinating, and it always kind of gets your stomach in a knot when you see a tropical storm taking direct aim in that area, especially after Katrina, and seeing the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. That was just, uh, of course, they call it a once in a lifetime or 1 in 100 year storm, but it just seemed like those are happening more frequently than 100 years. But hi, Jenny. Yeah, me too. I hope of course, just like with any storm, any kind of weather phenomena, you don't want to see the loss of life or damages to their livelihood, their homes, their businesses. Nobody wants to see that. And what's amazing to me is that we've been watching this area down here in the Gulf for September 9th since February. And Ernesto, it was in February. I mean, all of these storm systems have been predicted by the LRC months in advance. So it's crazy. And if you guys remember, here a couple weeks ago, we were talking about this, and we were talking about possible storm system coming up in the Gulf, and also be watching for in eastern Florida and the Florida Keys. Well, we just happen to have. Let me jump over here real quick and jump to. So this two other disturbances out here in the Atlantic. One has a 60% chance of cyclone formation in 48 hours. And then we have another one that has a 30% chance of cyclone formation in 48 hours that is going to be taking aim over here to the East Coast. So the tropics and the Atlantic is really starting to kind of fire up a little bit. And of course, we kind of expected it to, but Weather 2020 and the LRC, they predicted the lowest amount of named storms for this storm season than all of the other organizations out there that were putting out a forecast, and well below. I mean, I think they predicted, Weather 2020 predicted 14 to 18 named storms, and everybody else was up into 20 to 30 named storms. They thought this was going to be an overly active period. But I do think we'll probably get up to around that 14 mark as far as named storms as the Atlantic really starts to heat up as far as tropical disturbances. Oh, hey, Jenny. So they have several. Now, there's only certain ones that I can show. Um, there's that live look, and this was from down off of the strip. This is a balcony cam, and you have to be careful when you go to stream. You have to use public cams say in restaurants, on the beach cams, traffic cams. Those are the ones that you can stream. You have to be careful not to stream somebody else's personal stream, maybe a stream they're trying to make money on. But your public cams you can actually stream. So that's the reason I stick mainly with traffic cams. And this one here is from New Orleans Strip Cam is what it's called, and it's on YouTube. Hey Brandon, how's October looking for hurricane toward Florida and the Bahamas? Well, so obviously what I had up there on the screen a second ago, we have two disturbances right now that are coming off the coast of Africa, and uh, they are likely going to produce at least tropical storm, if not larger, only because there's not any wind shear out there right now, and of course the very warm waters of the Atlantic being this time of year. So I do believe they are going to grow into something. So if anything, the first 2 weeks of October, it's probably going to remain active, and then the last 2 weeks of October when things really start to settle down a little bit. But right now, I think there are five named storms out there, and this could be number six and number seven, and they're expecting at least 14 named storms. So we still have a ways to go to get up to that 14, and we're smack dab in the middle of peak hurricane season that will extend all the way into October. So if you're heading to Florida and the Bahamas in October, I would definitely be checking on that here. Um, this is likely going to take about 10 to 12 to 14 days for this system to make its way over here to the East Coast. So this particular system depends on what direction that it is going to go, because you have to remember we have Francine down here that eventually is going to be spun out here into the Atlantic. Now that could either steer these systems further south, or it could steer them up and into the Atlantic over out of harm's way. So we have to kind of wait and find out exactly what the path of these disturbances are right now. So, but definitely want to keep a close eye on that, because October is kind of an iffy time down on the Florida coast. Oh, first cruise. I hope you didn't get like a major hurricane discount. They say it's going to be some rough seas, but well, it's been such a long time since we done a live stream. There for what was that? Almost 2.5 months. We were having nightly live streams all the time because there was so much going on here in West Central Missouri, and then it just like cut off. So thought we would go ahead and do a live stream tonight, because uh, and again, we're not gonna see any severe effects from this tropical storm, but we are hoping to be able to get a little bit of moisture in the ground here for um, here in West Central Missouri, especially for the farmers. The beans definitely need it. I did see a couple people out combining some beans, but we really need some moisture as we're heading into the second, third week of September. Now, the end of the month is still showing a big cool down, potential for some bigger rains at the end of the month of September, the third week into the fourth week. So we are going to warm up this week. We are going to warm up through next week. We're going to be getting back into those low 90s again. And it's not going to be till around the 21st, 24th, right in that time frame, before we finally start to cool down again. And that should be really our kind of our dividing line, where kind of our transition from summer into fall. And it's going to be really hard pressed to get up above 90 degrees again once we get to that third week of September. You bet, Brandon. So again, you guys can go, and I do have, I will be posting a couple of the live cams. I think I've got a total of 4 down on the Louisiana coast, and I will be putting them on our website at subbiesweathertalk.com. I did that for the last couple hurricanes that came into United States. I put up some live cams, so if you get bored, you can jump over there and see what the conditions are on the beach cams. So I will be doing that on our website. Do have Gary Lezak's video up there on our website as well, and that is under video weather news is what that is under. So feel free to jump over there, and of course Fox Weather, it's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they are actually really focused on this particular tropical storm on Fox Weather. So you can jump right over to our website, and you can get all my information over there. Let's just take a look at it here real quick. Let's go to right on our homepage. There's all of my all of my podcasts. Got a player right there on our homepage of our website. Just have the newest one today, talking about speaking to kids about severe weather and how we should go about it to make sure that they're not terrified, that they don't get anxious about severe storms, and how we need to approach our kids with verbalage so that they're intrigued but they're not scared. So I think that goes a long way as they get older, for them to understand that the more information they know, the more that they can actually come up with their own realization, where that they're not so anxious about severe storms, but they are well informed to be protected of those storms. So it's kind of a neat podcast. I encourage you guys to check out the podcast. And of course, last week's, that was No More Outdoor Tornado Sirens, and I have it posted everywhere. We had a little bit of audio difficulty in that, but got all that worked out. But definitely give that a listen if you have not, because the National Weather Service got defunded from the federal government in 2024, and one of the first programs that they had to go away with was the upkeep and maintenance and providing monies to help small communities build outdoor weather sirens, tornado sirens. So now it's going to be on the local government to be able to fund if a motor goes out in the tornado siren, or they need their annual upkeep maintenance. All of that is going to be put on these local governments. And I tell you what, guys, it's very, very expensive. And a lot of these communities do not have the monies to be able to get that done. And we have to have outdoor sirens. There's just no way around it. We have to continue to have our outdoor sirens. So make sure that you give that a listen. Contact your congressman, your representatives, your senators, and let's try to get this funding back for 2025. So a lot of good information on the podcast. You can also jump over here to my weather blogs, of course, all of my live feeds and video weather news. You can click on that. And of course, that was Gary Lezak's update on the tropical system. If you want to know how hurricanes form, there's a video right there. Great explanation. The global predictor and how to use it. And of course, thunderstorm, tornadoes 101, severe weather safety. The latest edition of Weather and Ag in Focus, a fantastic group. They follow Weather 2020 and the LRC as well, and they're very ag related. So I encourage you, if you're in the ag business, to definitely follow them and give this one a listen. And then of course we have Hurricane Headquarters Fox Weather Live 24/7. 365, and you can watch all these right here on the website. You just click play.
At this point, up to 10 feet could be seen just to the east of Cameron, out through Morgan City.
And you can watch it right there in the browser. So all my broadcasts, all my broadcasts, the easiest way is to right here off of my website. There's my YouTube live feed. There's my Subby Facebook live page. So we are live right now. So if we go to Subby's Facebook live, and there's my stream right there going on right now. It takes you right to it. That's what I tell everybody so they're not confused. The easiest way, whenever I'm going to be going live, just jump over to my website and just click a link. It'll take you right over. Well, it's been very, very busy here over the last few weeks. My schedule's going to be changing up just a little bit. Was going to start it today. Now it's going to be Wednesday, but you will be able to hear my pretty voice all day long on 95.3 and 104.9. And I will be doing the 24-hour weather broadcast across the airwaves. So a lot of changing that's going to be going on. Hopefully, if you guys have grandkids or kids that play high school football, definitely make sure you download the Rap for Media app, as we are broadcasting the live performances on YouTube on Friday night for the Clinton Cardinals. So definitely keep that in mind. You can give that a look. So we've been working really hard to get a good video feed for the parents and grandparents and friends of our Clinton High School football players. So definitely take a look at that. And remember, guys, we'll go into detail a little bit more on our website, but I'm telling you, there's so much information on this website. I kind of take good pride of this website, because if you live in West Central Missouri, you can get every piece of weather information you need right here on the website. So of course we got the podcast, we got a full interactive map, radar, weather warnings, we've got winds and temperatures, rainfall accumulations. We've got, of course, the blogs, my live feeds. We have our winter weather news, maps and models, National Weather Service, the weather radio live feeds. It really is incredible. Moisture monitoring, river levels, especially if you guys live along the Grand River, or you live around, say, Big Creek. Great access to be able to get to these tools here. where you can go to the Grand River and you can actually see what the levels are, what's the forecasted levels, how let's see here, how much land is going to be covered in water over the next storm system. There's so much information that you can gather right there at your fingertips, especially if you have land or crop field near Grand River or Big Creek. That's a great tool to have. So all kinds of information on the website, guys. Website Addy? It is subbiesweathertalk.com. Very simple. subbiesweathertalk.com. Take you right to it. And of course, it's available. It is what they call an auto app. So what happens, you go to that website on your phone browser, say on Safari or on your, let's see, I believe they call Android. Safari is Apple, and I believe Internet app on Android. And you go to Subby Weather Talk, and then you can add it to your home screen for quick access. And the minute that you send it over to your home screen, it turns it into an app for you. So it's available. You can look at it on your phone, tablet, on your desktop. All right, guys. So one more, just real briefly. Again, want to take a look at right now with the latest data. This is going to be the area that's going to most likely to receive any moisture from the current track of Francine that is likely to become a hurricane tomorrow. Now we will wait and see how this thing wiggles and waggles tomorrow, and hopefully it moves just a little bit further west so that we can get some of that moisture over west central Missouri, we hope. So that is the latest that I've got, guys. And again, I just want to go live. There's not a whole lot going on out there. We've had beautiful temperatures. We just need a little rainfall. So we hadn't been live for a while, so I want to kind of open it up. If anybody has any questions, somebody like Brandon who might be having a vacation in October, jump over and give me text me a location and a date, and I'll give you a forecast wherever you might be going. Lucky, remember who you're talking to. Just Greek what you just said. Well, all you have to remember there, Lucky, is go to www.subbyweathertalk.com. You'll get all the information there, buddy. That's pretty straightforward. But of course, if you hit the wrong button, you can always text me, and that give me an excuse to come over and visit. No problem, Jeff. Thanks for jumping in, buddy. All right, so, and again, Wednesday morning on 95.3 and 104.9, you will begin to hear me almost all day and all night long. So, if you miss my voice, you can jump over there and be able to listen to my voice more often on 95.3 and 104.9. And again, we're going to be live streaming Friday night right here at Cardinal Stadium. You can check that out on the Radford Media app, available for Apple and Android. Oh, Jan wants me to stop over. Okay. All right. I see what you're saying there, Lucky. You don't want me to, but the wife does. I see. I'll do that. I'll do that this week. I'll put that on my agenda to stop in and holler at you guys. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and call that a wrap for tonight. And again, feel free to shoot me a direct message if anybody has any questions with this upcoming storm system. Remember, Saturday mornings, Subby's Ag and Weather Report comes out every Saturday morning. And so a little bit of what I've got to say and a little bit about what the USDA meteorologists say for our area. And so definitely check that out on Saturday mornings, Subby's Ag and Weather Report. So, all right, guys, take care, and I will continue to update. I will be having an update tomorrow with an update on the track of Francine, and hopefully we'll see it move over to the west just a little bit by tomorrow. So have a great night, guys. Get out and enjoy it. Another beautiful night here in West Central Missouri. Take care. We'll be talking to you soon.